Hey guys, welcome to another session of Epic 7. Today we're going to do a feature video on Kayron. So if you guys watch my videos in chronology, there's a specific guild battle that I fought with Kayron. It was embarrassing, and at the end of his performance, okay, so basically it was against Nightclaw. So if you haven't seen that GVG video, search it up. It's the Lurds versus Nightclaw. At the very end, you know, like a bit of a spoiler here, very end of the battle, I thought I handled it, right? Kayron's an immortality. If he kills us with S3, he can extend all his buffs by one more turn. So I'm thinking, okay, it's easy. There was no Aureus on the team, there was no defense buff, and C-Dom was the opposing person that I was gonna kill. She had 7.8k HP, and I didn't have an attack buff though, but still, you would assume that with all his HP loss, because he does a HP, more damage per HP loss, percentage-wise, I would assume that he would just kill her completely, but he didn't. He didn't kill her off, and I ended up dying. And at the end of the video, I said, okay, that's it. You know, that I had enough of him. And what I meant by that was enough of his previous build. So for the longest time, I mean, he's really good. Like, he's pretty easy to build early in game if you're in like mid-tier arena. I would say like Challenger 5-ish, maybe Challenger 4 even. People still run like really flaky, you know, cleave teams. Let's say like you know, like Judith, like Yuna, Vildred, etc. Like lowish HP. They're supposed to do like an AOE cleave, just kill off your entire team. But Kayron's benefit is, of course, that he has immortality, so he can survive for one turn. And then if you do kill with S3, you grant an extra turn, of course, to his immortality, because it extends all buffs by one more turn. So regardless, he was really good where I had him for like lower rank. But regardless, when I couldn't kill that C-Dom without Aureus, without a defense buff, I just had enough. So originally his build was pretty free. I just used pretty much you know, a full set of the Abyss set, but a mix between the 85, sorry, the 71, whatever. But it basically like multiple sets of the Abyss gear. Got his Abyss set locked, and then I got I think I had a crit chance set or something. Either way, it was doing way too much damage, way too little damage, and the stats were about 2.9k attack and a 195 crit damage. Okay, so 195% crit damage. So lo and behold, obviously I spent the week kind of grinding his gear, kind of leveling it up, and then finally built him. So this is kind of like a reveal. All right. Later on, you will see in GVG videos that I'll post on a later date on YouTube as well, his new performance. So I did feature him yesterday on a GVG stream, but my GVG videos are always backdated. So you guys will see that later, his performance. But these are his new stats. So obviously with you know, destruction set, you get a 40% crit damage right away. So even if he had no crit damage substats, your Kayron would be at a 190, or whoever you're using would be at a 190% crit damage. So that's a really good start, of course. And then, you know, if you just do the simple math, you just need about another 15% to get to a T70 crit damage necklace. So it's not too hard to do. So at the end of the day, what I did go with is a crit chance necklace to get his critical chance up. Originally, I was gonna go with crit set to complete a crit rate set, and do a crit damage necklace. But I did the calculation on the gear that I had with a destruction set going into it. I would just not get enough critical hit chance. While my critical damage would be really high, it would be near 300. The crit chance was about like at 70, and just that doesn't work for me. So like, if you know, if you don't land your crit, you're missing out on all that crit damage that you built him up to. So eventually I scrapped that idea, and I went back to the drawing board, and I looked at my gear, what I had left, and I would say this critical hit chance necklace was the fundamental thing to get me started in this build. One, notice that it's a normal necklace, so people say it's gray, but I think the background color of the icon thing is brown, so whatever, gray necklace, let's call it that. Crit damage, obviously destruction set there, critical hit chance, but what's amazing about this necklace is that it rolled 12% critical hit damage. So again, if you know how these rolls, again, for newer players especially, like you don't always buy, you know, normal necklaces because you have no substats to run with. Usually you'll get this with the base stat there, but then no substats whatsoever. So 4 of the 5 rolls are rolling actual substats into the necklace itself, or into your accessory rather. But then the other 4, you know, it becomes random. Like, oh sorry, the last one becomes random. So I got lucky on this one because it rolled critical hit damage, which is really good to pair up with any sort of critical hit chance necklace. It's really good. One of the best substats you can get with a critical hit chance necklace is critical hit damage. Critical hit damage on it, and it has 2 speed. Why not? Every bit of speed counts. And it means that I rolled the first one critical hit damage to roll the substat, and on my last roll I rolled critical hit damage. So at least I rolled 6% crit damage each time I rolled it. So that's an amazing thing to start. And then just show you guys the gear, the rest of it. This craft was really fast. I went to Tara's already trying to, oh fine. Tara's trying to correct me, saying that it's great. Play some MMOs, bro. Oh yeah, he also said this is important too. Yeah, he does extend C Armin's S3 as well, so that's really good. So it extends all buffs by 1 more turn if you can kill off with your S3. Yeah, so this weapon I crafted like doing Banshee once. I crafted 1 weapon and it turned out to have like really good substats. As you can see, the top 3 here: critical hit chance, attack, and crit damage. Those are the substats that I rolled, like it rolled with. And I'm like, oh, this is perfect. I'm gonna do this. So I started upgrading it. It was pretty good. I mean, arguably now that I have all my substats in, you know, lined up, I could have used a bit less critical hit chance on this weapon. But again, when I rolled this weapon, I was thinking of using a crit damage necklace with crit chance set. So originally I was like all stoked about it, but even with all these, you know, good crit chance substats, it wouldn't have gotten me to what I wanted it to be. So anyways, 14% attack was perfect, and a 6% crit damage. And then weirdly, if you can see my Kayron build, 12% effect resistance here. If you look at his total effect resistance, it's 70%. It's really high. It's really high because all my substats pretty much have effect resist on it. I'm not salty about it. I kind of wanted like a bit more effectiveness. But I was talking to Tara about this, and he was saying that, you know, after I upgraded this to a 50% blind chance, I probably don't need the effectiveness, because he made a really good point. He says most of the time you want to blind the DPS units anyway, and the DPS units usually don't have really high effect resistance. So even with only 5% effectiveness, he should be able to get his blind off sometimes. I have noticed that when I'm, you know, doing farming or whatnot. Right now in his current build, he's my go-to farmer. If I'm farming for like catalyst and whatnot, he just wrecks. I just turn off the auto, the skills, and he just does his AoE all day. But of course I do run DN with him, so the buffs are always on. So yes, with buffs he does AoE on Void Slash, so his Void Slash becomes an AoE cleave. So he's a really good cleaver as well. Yeah, this helmet as well, I rolled about like 2 or 3 pieces on Banshee as well, and then I got this, and I was like, it's good enough. So when I was looking at this, obviously effect resistance was in the middle there, and I was like, I don't know if I should roll this, but it had the crit damage. So I did it really quick, up to +6 I believe. I got crit damage and I got speed, and I'm like, okay, I'll continue with it. And it turns out the other 2 additional substats I gained onto my effect resistance, but I got 3% crit chance there, so that was okay. Arguably speaking, I think this could be upgraded in sometime soon. I'm going to max awaken him. I'm farming for nightmare masks. That's another 4 speed in his awakening. Of course, more base HP and more base attack, but 4 more speed, so he's at 140 potentially. This one I wasn't 100% sure I want to continue rolling on it. It's at +10 right now, has 11% crit damage, it has the speed, so arguably if I continue to roll it, hopefully it will be landing on speed. Crit damage I don't think I need anymore. Like anymore, I don't think I'll see a big difference, but the speed will make it up. So if I can roll luckily 2 more speed on that, I'm done with it. These ones are interesting. So these are their newest arena gear. So as you can see, my crit chance is at 100%. No crit chance set, right? No crit rate set. Again, this is going back to that thing I keep mentioning in multiple build videos. Don't worry about completing your sets. You know, like attack set is really nice to have, but the substats for him, it was like perfect because I want to crit damage. So this rolled pretty good. I mean, the effect resistance, again, if you combine the boot and the ring, pretty insane effect resistance. But you know, if you combine it all together, it's not too salty. Now the only thing is, like, you know, this is advice from me to you guys, and I don't know if I'm right or not, this is just from my observation. Let's say if I ran with like a totally different hero and I didn't have effect resist on the other pieces of my gear, I would say the effect resistance would be really salty in that case, because if you have about I don't know, like 30%, 40% effect resistance, it's a bigger gamble. But when you hit about 70 threshold, and obviously if you want someone to be really good at effect resistance, you would most likely put a effect resist ring. 70% is pretty annoying. 70% is pretty annoying. I've shown my DN before. My DN has really high effect resistance, and she just resists stuff all day. But 70% is good enough. So 70% can be useful on, let's say, a really bad effectiveness like debuffer. It can be used to kind of neglect like Kisei, like regular Kisei's S3, you know, to remove that 2-turn cooldown. So because Kisei is a really good counter to Kayron, because if she uses her S3, you know, it reduces the cooldown. You can't use your S3 to extend your mortality buff. It's really annoying. But that's a whole other subject. But just Kayron himself, I'm pretty satisfied with this build. He has been doing well. I think in arena defense he has been doing well. Yeah, Karando, I am. Karando asks, are you doing a review recording? Yes, I am. Yeah, so the stats wise is really good. So another part of this video obviously is I want to do Azimanak run. So I haven't done an official Azimanak video because I don't think, you know, my videos are always late to release. Like better content creators out there always create like, do like Azimanak run, stage 11, 3-man, and then they already post it and it has like thousands and thousands of views. So I'm not in a rush to do it, but as you can see, I have completed it, but at least you guys can see my team. And basically it's really Kayron doing the work in terms of cleaving out the eggs. So Azimanak, if you know, like basically all you need is to strip. Obviously you need to sustain the damage, right? You need to sustain the damage, but you need to strip his buff. So his berserk buff, after 4 hits, he gets berserk buff, which he gets stronger over time, and it can stack. It can stack to an insane amount if you don't strip his buffs. The other thing is you have to kill off his ads. Okay, kill off his ads to remove a defense buff, which is unstrippable until you kill off the ads. So generally people run like AoE damage dealers, but definitely have to have AoE damage, and strippers would be the best thing to do. So debuff, people who remove buffs. So this is the team that I usually go with: Ken, Charles, Tamarine, and Kayron. So let's do a run. And I'm just going to do it on auto here. As you can see, my Kayron skill is turned off. Karando says gonna watch it when it's uploaded. I got a shout out. Yeah, man. Yeah, dude.
Go away.
Thanks for the support. So generally, round 1 is pretty tough because they do a ton of damage. If they get a critical hit damage.
Kneel before my sword.
Again, I obviously, you know, you guys probably, if you guys are watching this video, maybe you've seen my Ken feature videos, plural. So I have 2 videos featuring Ken, and Ken is really good. I mean, Ken, I run him in the front because he has more HP pool to do, and also he can get his vigor up faster. And he has Cigar Scythe right now, so he can sustain it. Charles on the side because he has the Elberus Ritual Sword, so as you can see, he can proc those counters. So it's pretty strong, pretty strong cleave there. Yeah, Taylor just asked. He says, shouldn't you run Charles for the counter? No, I actually ran Charles in front a couple times before, and I actually figured that this is actually better. Because most of the time, his Elberus Ritual Sword, I mean, it has the same amount of percentage to proc as the counter set, 20%, right? If you max enhance it, of course. So arguably, it's about the same, plus he does AoE. but putting Ken in front really helps me, at least for wave 1, because if they attack him, he has so much HP to kind of dive into, so my healer doesn't have to be, you know, too bad here. But I kind of get it. Like, if he attacks the front line like that, like Ken there, he can't counter. So I kind of get it. But for me, the auto runs, like, this has been working pretty well. So I don't know. That's just my preference.
Try and dodge this.
Because my Ken is obviously tankier than my Charles. So that's the Berserk that I was talking about. For people who maybe, you know, maybe have not watched another person's video or whatever, I got unlucky there. So we're trying to strip his buffs. There we go. So now with Tamarine's buff, Kayron should be able to cleave pretty well on the eggs there. And hopefully we proc a... Nope. We still need to dispel him. His Berserk is getting harder, stronger, as you can see. Just Ryan. Who's giving Kayron buffs? Yeah, pretty much Tamarine only, yeah. Maybe I should rethink that. I could put DN in front too. That would work. DN in front. Yeah, you can see the cleave is pretty good on those eggs there. Arguably speaking, I mean the eggs don't have too much what's called defense. They're pretty easy to cleave, but before my Kayron was rebuilt, I actually had a hard time actually cleaving them in one go. I had to rely on Dust Devil pretty much. You can't run DN. She gives too much buff.
How futile. Disappear.
What do you mean she gives too much buff? Wouldn't that be a good thing?
Yep.
So my Kayron's a bit struggling. He got hit a couple times. He already procced the Immortal. So the Immortal doesn't refresh until like I think 9 turns or something, until you enhance it, but I didn't enhance it, of course. Oh, there's a limit to how many buffs you can use. Oh, I see. I didn't even know that, actually.
Go away.
What happens when you have too many buffs? Yeah, so generally by this case, with Ken's power and the defense break from Ken, of course, he actually goes down pretty quick. That's another reason why I run Ken, because of the... let's see here. Yeah. Yeah, Berserk. There. Let's see here. Kessler has 3 more debuffs and attack is dispelled. Okay.
You're dead. Get a good look at these fists. Fatal strike.
I think it was S2 here. This number 1, number 2. I'll probably read it later. I'll read it later. Getting into the battle here. So clearly clearly I just like beat this. I'm just like, what? What does he do? What does he do? It's the third one with the blood claw. Oh, okay, third one with the blood claw. Use Death Trap if target has 3 or more buffs. Okay, what does Death Trap do? Death Trap? Oh, I see. Okay, I see. Okay, it dispels the buff anyway. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, pretty satisfied with this. The Kayron like increase in damage, of course, with this team. Again, I used to run it like this anyway, but with my old Kayron build, it's way quicker. It's way quicker. I used to kill this about I mean, it depends on how lucky I get the defense breaks and whatnot, I think, but we'll run it one more time. So another thing I should note this, and I agree with Terror on this. It's just that right now my Kayron looks so beefy. And I don't have the immunity gear, but he was saying that Kayron really needs immunity. It would save him from a ton of stuff. So like let's say stuns even. So if you kill him while he's stunned or provoked, he can't actually like use his S3, right? He can't use his S3, so you waste the Immortal turn, so he pretty much is dead weight. So immunity set is super important on Kayron, and I know that. It's just that I'm really lazy farming immunity. I really should. Oh yeah, and silences. Yeah, and A card really messes them up. Yeah. There's a ton of stuff that really would be bad. So like I said, the Kisei S3 would be bad on him too. So he's really good, but at the same time, he's like, if he doesn't have immunity or someone that could put up an immunity buff before the enemy goes, he is pretty easy to take out. That's the only problem. I generally don't have problems fighting Kayron on a defense team because I bait hard. I bait him, I open him up really easily, but on an offense team even, you know, if he had immunity set, I'd probably use him a lot more on offense. But currently he's my defense arena. Yeah, actually that's a good point. Drew Bolt says the Kayron with Wind Rider is also amazing. Yes, it is. It's really good. Generally, he can one-shot someone with the S3, but on the off chance he doesn't, I prefer Dust Devil. Plus the fact that I also like Dust Devil for farming. Yeah, I don't know. I would put on Wind Rider if I was more confident that the teams I face he can one-shot someone. Because you get the extra damage right on the next one on this cleave, which is really cool. Jagan never changes artifacts. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Terrorist is not against most sustained tank teams. Yeah, that's exactly it. That's my problem right now. I don't have the immunity set to like go after ML Araminta teams, which are cleave teams, which Wind Rider I think would work really well. But even some defense Araminta teams, they run like Sea Armin and they're really beefy, so it's kind of, you have to have a lot of setup in order to like one-shot someone.
Away with you.
Hey Toffman, welcome. Yeah, so yeah, like I was saying this, those eggs, like seeing those eggs being like wiped in one shot really satisfies me, because before I needed Dust Devil to proc or a second turn to do it, but now he can do it in a one, so that's really nice. Charles, of course, is pretty cool as usual. It's like an AOE hit, 4 times chance to proc Elber's Ritual Sword, but I didn't get that one. It's kind of a lot to set up, says Toph. Yeah. Oh, I'm silenced. So yeah, that's that. Gotta wait for my my cleave to come back for the eggs. What's your effectiveness on Charles? He's about like I think 40 something or maybe 50. I'll kind of show my team here as well, because since this is a sort of an Azimanak video too, I'm gonna kind of show all my gear going into this, so you guys get a reference point. At least maybe for like some players that are just about to take out Azimanak, they'd be like, okay, I need like minimal stats here or there. You can see the performance here. There's a lot of bleed stack though, but never fearful of what Ken can do here. It's Kayron I'm more worried about. Okay, no attack buff and Dust Devil procs, because the immortality buff gave him the AOE thing, but I think Tamarine gets her S3 on her next turn. Here's about 42. Looking grim here, sister. Yeah, man. But I trust it. Oh, that's not good. I thought he transforms. He doesn't. So that's not good. I think I'm gonna lose. He has Berserk up too. Oh my goodness! Wow. Why is Kayron? Yeah, I think I might lose this one. Dust Devil. Oh my goodness. I just realized my my Tamarine is not proccing her thing. Oh, Kayron's dead. It's over. It's over. Let's see if Ken and Charles can do it. I think they can finish it off. 30 HP, yeah man. Hanging on by a thread. I don't think Ken does much here. No, Ken does everything here, man. He has attack rate and he can still kill. That's the thing. I have beat it with Kayron dead, with Ken and Charles only. So, I don't know. flurry with Aureus is for sustain. That could work.
Here.
Oh no, actually, you know, I can't even take out the eggs, right? So I can't beat it. No, I can't beat it. Okay, so I'm gonna yield. I'm gonna yield. Ken doing his work here, man. Hold on. I might just do what's it called?
Together.
You can? Just wait for Charles S3. Yeah, I was just gonna use Archie, yeah, that's right.
It's time to draw
I was just gonna
my
use
sword.
Archie. D's wait, yeah, PMA said it. D zone says you could always manual. Yeah, I'm gonna manual it.
Let's have a go.
I'll manual it. You had to kill him off at the same time, right? Alright, let's do another Archie here. You can use Archie whilst auto. Oh yeah, that's true. Alright. But we did it. Great video. It is. It is, man. It's an awesome video. Look. Look, man.
Go away.
Okay, I think Charles... Yeah, Ken can do it. Like, Ken is too OP, man. All of a sudden, Kayron feature becomes Ken feature again. No more Archie. Hey, look, they're back. No! No more Archie.
Try and dodge this.
Oh man, I think Ken can kill him even with the eggs alive. Let's do it. Just Ken banner still up, you know? Ken banner still up. People have been telling me, man. They're like, hey man, I saw your Ken video and I just couldn't help but ham on him, and then they got him. So congrats on those people. To those people who actually watched my video and was convinced to pull him. He's good, man. He's good. Look at Charles and the 3-man team. You don't even need the eggs. I mean, you don't even need the... Can Rin replace Charles in this team comp? Yeah, for sure. Oh wow, we killed him. Af. I didn't even notice. Nah. Okay, I'm gonna quickly show kind of just like the rest of my team members. So you guys kind of get an idea. So Tamarine, you know, I didn't do a feature video on her. Maybe one day I will after she's done building. But she's looking decent. She's looking decent. Arguably the only thing I can strive for is now this weapon here. 16% effectiveness is really good because I want that effectiveness for her strip. So 44% only though. But until I get some more hand-me-downs, I think she's working for me for like hell raid, etc. She's way better than what was before. If you guys again watch my all my YouTube videos, there's one Abyss run I used Tamarine. I think it's like Abyss 71 or something. She had like 5.7k HP and she helped me beat it at level 50. So I mean she's a really good healer, and then who else was on the team? There was Charles, yeah, Sir Charles here with a counter set and yeah, counter set and crit chance. So these are his stats here. I've kind of swapped out this ring before for this one. I'm kind of debating right now, like, do I want the extra 16% crit damage or do I want that 15% defense with a 2% crit chance? Or maybe I'll roll something in better in the future. And in this armor here, I need a replacement. Hopefully something craftable from Wyvern, and I think he'd be good. But yeah, that's what he looks like right now. And of course, you guys have seen my Ken videos, so I'm not gonna talk about him too much. But that's pretty much it for this. So yeah, back to Kayron here. So anyways, arguably, like, if you guys have seen my progress through the game, I'm very happy about my upgrades on Kayron because it's been a long time. Taylor was saying this to me today as well. He's just like, yeah, like, congrats on your Kayrons, but a bit too late to the game. And I would have to say so. People who seriously use Kayron have already built him up really beefy. And I just kind of recently got him. So next to do, like, I think on the list, if I want to take him seriously, I do need to upgrade his S1 just a bit more. Get that blind chance up, and I think he's done. So anyways, that's my kind of like Kayron feature and an Azimanak run. So I'm gonna end this here. Let me catch up on the stream chat just a bit before I close off. Doo-doo-doo. Wait, what? Oh, they're talking about something else. Okay, never mind. You're going through Abyss right now with a 5k HP Tammy too, says as Eden Burns. Hey man, you get a shout out. You get a shout out. That's great. Yeah, I mean, Tamarine is incredibly broken. Once she gets like snowballing and gets her S3 up, man, she's just really good. She's really good. Alright, anyways, I'm gonna end that there. So, you know, hopefully this has been kind of fun and you guys get to see, you know, builds and whatnot. Apparently people kind of like these build videos. So I'll try to make them more often and, you know, discuss about them, etc. So anyways, I'm going to end that there. If you guys have Discord, check it out. If you guys have Twitter, follow me on Twitter and subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. As always, thank you guys for watching and I will see you next time.